welcome to a new episode of Couch Talks. So today I want to talk to you about silence. Not just silence, but listening to silence and allowing silence. So a lot of you will be thinking, why would I allow silence? Why can't I just listen to music or put on some Netflix or continue this conversation with this person? Right? Why would you want to have silence if you can have something else? See, the practice of allowing silence and listening to silence is actually very mindful. It's actually very, very powerful to allow that in your life. A lot of us feel awkward in silence because we're always engaging in our mind, always engaging in a conversation, always keeping ourselves busy. Just sitting in silence is weird for us. We don't like that. We put on some music or put on a series. Don't know, it's part of feeling like you're being engaged. But silence in itself is almost more engaging than any other because it engages that part of yourself which is not ego. It engages that part of you that is light and love and divinity because it's on the same frequency. Silence in itself is so pure. It's so powerful, just the same way that your light and your divinity inside of you is. So when you allow silence and when you listen to silence and actually allow it and engage with it, it reflects back into your divinity because it's the same frequency. So whenever we're in a conversation, there are a few ways you can do this, right? You can, whenever you're at home or lying in bed or you just got home or just before you leave, just sit a few moments and allow the silence. Just like I'm doing now. Make room for it. You'll notice there's a kind of a static ringing in your ear. I mean, there's a reason why they say the silence is loud or the ringing in the ear of the silence. It's because their silence is almost not silent. As soon as you open up to receive and listen to silence, it has its own sound. It's not nothingness. It's actually beautiful. And I think as soon as you open yourself up to that, you can hear so much more within the silence actually than you would ever give it credit for. So just make space for silence and being comfortable with silence. Because like I said, we as human beings are so overly engaged with our environment that we feel uncomfortable in silence. So it's a very, very good practice to start to listen to silence and to allow silence, even in conversations. I mean, it's only with a lucky few people that each of us actually don't feel awkward silences. We usually try and fill up the space with conversations. There are so many times where you're just kind of blabbering on because you don't want to sit there in silence. But being in silence is actually so beautiful. And we need to be comfortable with it by ourselves in order to bring it into our groups and into our love or our conversations or our relationships. So practice being silence alone and allowing silence and listening silence and being enveloped by silence while you're alone, so that you can bring in that loving light, loving space, loving energy into your relationships as well, into your spaces. That's all I want to share today, guys. We are all actually enveloped by this loving energy, and one way to be enveloped by it and to really appreciate it is to listen to that silence, and realizing that the silence has its own power, and listening to it reflects or brings up your own divinity, your own power. Okay, my loves, that's it for today. I will chat to you guys again in a week's time. Oh, my love.